Virginia Governor Ralph Northam is having more success than you might think, surviving the revelation that he wore blackface to dress as Michael Jackson and has a yearbook page with a photo of a klansman and a guy in blackface. Northam continues to deny the photo is him. The once deafening calls for him to quit have mostly died down, and Northam set out on a reconciliation tour. But last night, the tour's first stop hit a major snag. Northam was supposed to come here to historically Black Virginia Union University and sit quietly during a commemoration of the Richmond 34, former students who helped pioneer the sit-in movement during the Civil Rights era.
Will the students, alum, and everyone please stand with me, faculty and staff who are here. Today we have come to recognize the Richmond 34.
When some current VUU students found out Northam was planning to attend today's event, they felt blindsided. The student government wrote to Northam asking that he reschedule. Northam wasn't in the room, but the question of whether he was worthy of forgiveness was.
We stand on the message of 400 years, knowing that there will be a greater tomorrow because of our actions today.
Jamon Phenix is the student who wrote the letter to Northam.
I think that today was a huge victory for the student body. It was a victory for the Commonwealth. It was a victory for Black Virginians.
Why delay reconciliation?
There was no real reconciliation. He was not on the, if he was to attend, he would not be on the platform. And he would not have said anything. So where was the reconciliation inside of just a presence? We want you to come, but if you're going to come, you have to answer our questions, and we have to have an honest but hurtful discussion about race and reconciliation in the Commonwealth.
In their letter to Northam, the students said that his attendance would, quote, take away from the commemoration. But some of the people being commemorated disagreed. In a letter of her own to the governor, Elizabeth Rice encouraged him to come to the event.
I was appalled when I learned that the SGA president of Virginia Union was attempting to speak for the Richmond 34. We all have sinned and made mistakes and deserve the second chance to make a positive difference in this divisive world we live in.
She was one of the 34 Virginia Union students who walked into Thalheimer's department store in Richmond on February 22, 1960. They sat down at a whites-only lunch counter and were charged with trespassing. The Supreme Court overturned their convictions 3 years later. How did you feel when the photo came out?
I was shocked. I was just outraged. I said, what? Northam may have trespassed against the Black community, but the word is forgiveness. And that's what my heart said, that he deserves forgiveness.
The students say they still want Northam to come to the school and reconcile with them, but only after he's done his homework and is ready for real dialogue. Rice sees today as a missed opportunity to get on the right path. Do you think there's a generational divide on forgiveness between you and some of the students who've spoken out?
Millennials, you haven't gone through the stuff that we've gone through. So, until you walk in my shoes and all the things that we've done and the names we've been called, and believe me, I was integrated to schools in Petersburg, Virginia, and I know they called me names, they put the racist noose on the board and told me that the KKK was gonna lynch me just for coming to teach their children.
Do you think ultimately, in order to move forward as a society, do Black people have to come to the table every time and be forgiving in order for things to move forward?
I mean, that's been our modus operandi all along. We've always been forgiving. No, I don't think we have to continually being the forgiving person, but people need to realize they need to stop being in a position where they have to be forgiven.